Well, it finally happened. Sean Diddy Combs, once hip-hop royalty and self-proclaimed mogul of moguls, has officially faced the music. After months of accusations, leaked footage, and public outrage, the day of reckoning arrived in court. But the outcome? Let's just say it's not exactly the comeback tour Diddy probably had in mind. The atmosphere in court was electric. Cameras flashing, reporters whispering, fans holding onto that last shred of hope that maybe, just maybe, the man behind Bad Boy Records could somehow talk his way out of this one. But this wasn't a red carpet event. No private jet, no champagne, and definitely no dancing. Just a very serious judge, a long list of allegations, and Diddy looking, well, like someone who finally realized being unforgivable isn't a cologne, it's a lifestyle choice. When it was Diddy's turn to speak, he put on his best performance yet. He said he was deeply sorry for his actions and that he lost himself somewhere along the way. Emotional? Maybe. Convincing? That depends on how much you like Oscar-worthy courtroom monologues. He talked about personal growth, about finding God, about being a changed man. Classic redemption arc material. The only problem? It came after months of silence, denial, and, oh yeah, a viral hotel video that didn't exactly scream personal growth. Still, points for effort. Then came the prosecutors, and they weren't here for the redemption story. They described Diddy as a man who believed his fame made him untouchable. They painted a picture of someone who used his power not to inspire, but to control, intimidate, and humiliate. Their words were sharp, their tone unforgiving. And when they mentioned the video, the one that shook the internet, you could feel the air leave the room. They basically said what everyone was thinking. All the luxury, the fame, the parties, none of it could hide who he really was behind closed doors. Then the judge spoke. And let's just say, this was not a man impressed by private jets and platinum records. He brought up the so-called freak-offs, those now infamous parties that sounded more like Netflix horror specials than elite gatherings. The judge called them exploitative, disturbing, and a reflection of unchecked arrogance. He reminded Diddy that money doesn't erase morality, and that even the biggest stars eventually have to face consequences. And for a brief second, even Diddy looked like he finally got it. That maybe this wasn't a PR scandal to manage, but a life that had finally caught up to him. His defense team, bless them, gave it their all. They painted Diddy as a tortured artist, a man who grew up in hardship, and someone who gave back to the community. They mentioned charities, scholarships, and music mentorships. You know, the highlight reel. But by this point, it just sounded like a greatest hits album of excuses. Because while the world remembered the music, the courtroom remembered the victims. And finally, the moment everyone was waiting for, the judge announced Diddy's sentence. It wasn't a slap on the wrist, but it wasn't a total takedown either. Some might call it justice. Others might call it celebrity privilege doing what it does best. The verdict sent a message loud and clear. Fame might open doors, but it doesn't keep you out of a courtroom. And just like that, the man once known for can't stop, won't stop, finally had to stop. So what happens to Diddy's legacy now? Well, the music still slaps. No denying that. But the legacy? It's complicated. The empire he built was made of hits, power, and influence. But now it's overshadowed by scandal, apologies, and a long list of people saying, "We told you so." In the end, Sean Combs became the kind of cautionary tale he probably thought he was too big to be. And as he left the courtroom, no entourage, no cameras, no bad boy for life attitude. It felt like the final scene of a movie that went on a few seasons too long. So yeah, Diddy's fall from grace might not surprise anyone anymore, but it sure does remind us, no matter how high you climb, there's always gravity waiting at the top, because at the end of the day, even a mogul has to face the music. And this time, he didn't get to choose the track.